Hey. Okay, look. I already know. You never met nobody like me. Never have you ever. But you gon' find out. First off, I'm not your average Negro. I heard the beat, a pencil grabbed me and said, here we go. I was with it as soon as I heard the strings.
So Flava Hype, we got a lot going. You've had a lot going on since this show started airing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about some of those things. You've been traveling, you've been performing, you've got new songs coming out, you've got music video in the works. There's a lot of cool stuff happening. You're rocking some of your new merch too. So so yeah, let's fill in the fans on all the cool stuff that's going on. So
Okay.
believe the hype. Believe the hype. This
Mhm.
is a great place for conversations of all kinds. So, you talk
Exactly.
about a lot of different things, different topics, some of your thoughts, things that people want to talk about. We talked about mental health recently, which was,
Mm.
gosh, that's a topic for all of us.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
all need to take care of ourselves and whatnot. But man, you've got so much going on with the music. So fill us in on what's been happening. Let's go back a little bit to, gosh, you were
Okay.
in Vegas not that long ago. We got to see some clips from that. So tell us about that trip. Was that kind of like the first of a series of performing you've done recently?
Well, it was actually maybe the second one. It was my first time. I've been to Vegas before when I was younger, but I was just there going like circus, something like that.
Mhm.
So performing there was huge for me, and yeah, it was the first in like a string of out of state performances. So the thing is, like, what made it so important and so great for me was that for the first time, my brother and my father actually watched me perform live. Like, they've never been to anything I've done to see me perform live before. So that was like one of the best things that ever happened as far as me being there. They drove from like California to, or California and Arizona to be there. Because my dad lives in California. So yeah, it was huge to have them there. So I was like, oh my goodness, thank you so much for being there for me. But yeah, that was a huge thing for me. I loved it.
That was so special. And we got to see glimpses of Dad rocking out and busting a few moves. And
I
so
didn't know you still had it.
I'm good. I'm too busy filming. Here we go. Hey.
yeah, so with them getting to see you perform, did that kind of make it a little bit more real to them too, what you're doing with your art and music?
Yes, it did, but they never doubted anything I was doing, but it just made it seem like them being there, they could see what I do and what it's like to experience like me as a performer. Because they've listened to my music before, they've heard it and they love it, they're cool with it, and it's great. But just having them there to see it live, oh my goodness, like there's almost no better feeling than having that and that support coming from them. And I know that they're there to support me and love me for what I do. It was great. I mean, they love me regardless, but that's just another aspect of something that they respected and appreciated. So yeah, it was very real for them as well.
That's so awesome. What a neat thing to feel and experience and just have that memory, and be able to capture that on video and be able to have that with you always.
Yes, definitely. My dad was even telling me that he was so proud of me because he knows like the kind of the journey that I've had with the music and just throughout life, but he knows that I've always been into music and loving it, and my brother. And so we were having breakfast the morning before the show, and he was saying, man, he's like so proud of me for sticking with it and staying, loving what I'm doing. And he's like, it's almost like he couldn't believe that I was just in Vegas. It was like, man, I can't believe you are actually in Vegas performing. I was like, I almost can't believe it either. But it was so great, so great.
That's awesome. So then we saw you in Pensacola, Florida. So tell us a little bit about that show, how that came about.
Okay, so that one really, well, as far as that how that came about, that was due to the connections from my consultant, Jessie J, the laughing model. So I want to give her a shout out. Thank you, Jessie J, for facilitating that whole thing. Um, so she lives very close, right around the Pensacola area. And, she's trying to get me involved in certain things. And so she came across that and said, hey, I think you might be good for this, to get you build up some more of your chops performing and things like that. I was like, yeah, sure. So it was a competition put on by, I think it was Vivid Magazine and Humble Hustler. So shout out to Vivid Magazine and Humble Hustler for putting that together. And so it was like you compete, the artists compete, the grand prize is like I think it's $1,000 or something like that, and a song produced by them and a spot in the magazine, and just like a free session of production or something, and a music video as well. So it was like a huge thing. I'm like, whoa, I can get all this, and all I have to do is perform and win the grand prize. But it was great too, just to be out there. The energy was great. The people out there, the other artists, and being able to network and have that as well. Like it was great. I loved being there. It was a great performance. I didn't win, but it was very, very close because I went out there and I did a couple songs, and there was like maybe 5 or 6 other artists there, and it was a tie, like between me and another artist. I was like, oh goodness! So they said, hey, do you have another song that you can perform to kind of break the tie? And I was like, yeah, I have another song. And so we went out there and we did our songs, and I was like, so it was based on the crowd, who got the highest. So they had to go through the crowd like 3 or 4 times. Say, who do you like more, this person or that person? So at the end, they edged me out, but I completely understood. I mean, they rocked it. He really, really rocked it. So I was there just to experience that, and it was so much fun. So thanks again to everyone involved, Jesse J, Humble Hustler, and Vivid Magazine. So yeah, thank you so much. But yeah, it was great though.
Is Jesse who we saw in your Sickle or Scythe video?
Yes, that's actually the
Okay.
first time I worked with her, and yes, yeah, that's
That
exactly who that
was
is.
that was a fun video we've seen a few times now. So that was fun. Now you had another music video that we were just seeing little clips of that recently. And what a catchy tune. What's it called? Singing in the Rain?
Oh, I
Dancing in the
dance in
Rain.
the rain.
I
I
dance in the
dance in
rain.
the rain. Yes, yes.
So
Um,
that's a little intense. Tell us a little bit about that one.
well, it was very intense for a couple of reasons. For one, the song itself is a very powerful song. It's a very real and raw song with the emotion and the delivery and how the song came about. But aside from that, I really wanted to make sure I added the visual element to it because I think that's also powerful when you have the imagery, the visual imagery to go along with the song. Now, I didn't have the video when the song was released, but now the video it's on its way out. It's actually going to be released on the 25th. Yeah, April 25th. So like this coming up weekend, April 25th. So, but I took, some of the talent again, Jessie J was a part of recruiting the talent to be part of it. The videographer, she was helping out on set, the other actresses in the video itself, along with myself. Um, but yeah, I had to really kind of tap into my my acting to convey the emotions that I needed while I was doing the video. And so it really took me to a place of true pain and things like that. So I kind of had to bring that back out. And it was kind of difficult to do because I don't like to sit there in pain. But yeah, but I had to do it for the video. So it was great though. It was a fun time, and it was very, very, very well done and very well produced. So I appreciate everyone involved in it. Victoriano Sheffield, Natasha Barber, and Christina Hewitt for being a part of it, along with Jesse and me. So those are the ones who were all had to do with the production of the video.
And it's great to have a great team of people to work with creatively, be able to, express the message that you're trying to get across with the music. Now, I just want to touch on what I saw and what got from watching the music video and hearing some of the lyrics is, we're seeing domestic violence. We're seeing an abusive relationship where, in this particular instance, the man was the victim. And this many times goes unreported. It's a very underreported statistic. And now, in the work that you do, can you shed any light on that? Or is this, were you, calling on a personal experience or something that you had already been through or knew someone that had?
All of that.
Hmm.
So I hear a lot based on, because in the interview before, we talked about mental health, but I'm in the military, so I'm a mental health specialist in the military. So when I hear at times people will come to me and they'll express certain things happening and going on with them. Some of it could have to do with domestic violence, and also any other things that have to do with military related stuff as long as home front issues. But that's an aspect that I know for a fact does not get reported from the male perspective when they're actually the victims. And it might not always show itself as far as like something that you can see, not a physical wound or pain or mark or bruise. Some of it is emotional. I mean, there's emotional because we don't see that physically unless we have some facial expressions and things like that. Also, verbal abuse, that is a form of abuse. It is. So a lot of these things come into play on both sides of the relationship. Some men do it, some women do it. But when women do it to men, it doesn't seem to be reported as much or taken seriously. And so I kind of really wanted to expose that, I've experienced some of my own, and I didn't want to make it seem like I'm immune to experiencing what people do, even as an artist. I don't want to like not expose this true side of me. Like, yes, as an artist, I'm going to be true to what I express and what I expose as far as dealing with that, because that's a serious issue. And so I really wanted to bring that to light.
And you did it well. And the lyrics, I mean, it's a really catchy song. I mean, it's I'm excited, for us to be able to put the whole package out on the show, for people to see that. And you're right, as an artist, we have to be, we're vulnerable and we're telling our truth, but in sharing those parts of ourselves, the ones that have been hurt and damaged and bruised, that helps others that are going through something and may not feel like they have a voice or that they can, talk about it. And, and gosh, it's just there's so many people suffering right now in the world for a lot of different reasons. They're very unsure about things, and the cost of things is going up and just continues to do so. So people are struggling in a lot of different ways. Now we've
Absolutely.
seen you in the studio too. What else are you working on? You've got a lot of things in the mix, in the works.
Yeah, a few things here and there. Definitely. So I actually have two songs that are about to be released. Well, I think they just got released. So by the time everyone sees this, those songs will be out. So there's a song called well, wow. There's Asphalt and Rubber. And that's it, kind of a song talking about racing, like car racing and loving speed and winning races in car races. So I think that might be good for like the Fast and Furious soundtrack. Also,
NASCAR,
yeah,
Formula
NASCAR,
One.
exactly.
The
Yeah,
list goes on. Yeah.
exactly, definitely. Also a song that I wrote that I kind of dedicated to my daughter, my first child, my daughter, Brianna. It's called Baby Girl, and it's kind of talking about how much I love her, appreciate her, and kind of the steps that it was when I was helping raise her. Just little things, little fun things, talking about this and that, and just I wanted to express my love for her and my appreciation. Because and I want to put this out there too, as a matter of fact. When I think the first episode, though they showed my kids, I didn't have any pictures of her, and so she didn't get shown when I talked about my other kids. And I really, really made a mistake by not having a picture of hers, because when she saw that, it kind of made her feel like she was left out. And I was like, oh my goodness, I did not want to do that. I did not mean that. And it really hurt her and it hurt me as well, because I'm like, how could I, let that slip through? So I knew that in some way I was like, look, I got to make this up to her somehow. I can't, take that back, but I still want to let her know she's extremely important. I love her. I didn't mean to do that. It was just a mistake, and I really hope that she forgives me for it. And I mean, she has. She said it's okay. She understood. It just kind of, took her by surprise that she didn't see her up there, but she saw the other two kids. So there was that. And also, what was the third one? Oh, another one called Just Saying. And it's just kind of a mellow, like a conversational piece that's just kind of talking about how people are and living life as we see, with our morals and our values, kind of, it's a little bit spiritual, but not necessarily religious. So I just kind of took that out and just kind of let the beat play, and I just kind of the delivery was more just talking, just kind of a conversation with someone. So that's kind of how I took it. So yeah.
So has your daughter had a chance to hear her song yet?
Oh yes, she heard it. She cried when she heard it. She loved it. It was just a spectacular thing. She really, really, really took to it. It warmed her heart to hear it, and she didn't really know that I was going to do it. I kind of sprung it on her a little bit, and then once it dropped and she listened to it, she absolutely fell in love with it.
That's here. That is another special, little piece that you can leave for her. It's a piece of you and something special that you two share. There's some special bond between fathers and daughters. And
Yeah.
they're so important for a young lady to have her father in her life. So, she's very blessed that you're still here and able to be part of her life and her experiencing growing as a person.
I'm blessed as well, just to have her. I mean, I'm going to write a song dedicated to each of my kids, but hers is just the first one to come out. So my other kids, like DJ and Isaiah, they're y'all are gonna get songs too. I'm still writing those, but yeah, hers just came out first, so that's that. So don't fret that theirs is coming too.
So, where can we get this new merchandise? We've seen you've been showing it off on the show and different things from shoes to shirts to all kinds of stuff. So, what's the best way for people to be able to get their hands on some?
Yeah, so there's a link. Oh shoot. I've been posting the link in some of my posts, and I'll leave it up here for y'all to be able to show as well. It's a printify, where they can order like shirts, hats, mugs, cups, bandanas, shoes, like a shoe with the logo on it. It's just been like great, and the hat, like it has like a bucket hat and a baseball cap as well, so they'll be able to just kind of represent, what I'm saying? Show some Flava Hype merch, and I'm so appreciative of it. I know I had some merch before, and so it kind of upgraded and changed a little bit from what I had before. And so I was so grateful for everyone who purchased and showed their support with the other merch and logo. And so I'm hoping that, I'll get some more people to do the same with this one. This is more, obviously it's upgraded, and I think it fits more about what I do. It has the microphone, and they know I'm really into music. So that's kind of something that really stands out and shows more about me as an artist and as a person.
Cool. So we'll make sure that sometime during this episode people have that link so that they can show their support and share the Flavor Hype brand as well. So what's next? What do you have in store next? What's next and what are you cooking up?
All right, so next I actually do have another little performance in Pensacola this coming up weekend. I think it's actually Friday, so the Friday and the weekend is coming up. But so there's that. I have a couple more songs I'm releasing. And of course, I'm still going to be going to the studio for some more music. But I have my next release is going to be a song called Fire Off. That's actually like an anthem for the armed forces. And I'm really excited about that one because, I wanted to, and I had released a song before called A Soldier, but it was just kind of a story telling like the beginning, middle, and end of a soldier's his mindset going through a war, like a war zone or active combat and things like that. So I kind of told that story before deployment, during deployment, and after deployment. It's called A Soldier. That's also out on all streaming sites. But this one is just kind of the anthem to get everyone kind of amped up. It's high energy. And I'm actually giving a shout out to all of the armed forces, like the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Space Force, and Coast Guard. So I name all of them in the song and give them shouts out and kind of touch on them and how, like, hey, you don't want to mess with the American military, the United States Armed Forces, kind of giving everyone a shout out. And I think it's just a real hype song. Hype. So yeah, so that's my next one coming out. That's actually being released on Armed Forces Day. So I think it May 5th, I think it's the 16th, May 16th. So that's just my next thing coming up. After that, going to be a couple
Well,
more,
you
few
know,
more songs coming up.
that, yeah, we've got so Armed Forces Day, then we've got Memorial Day, Flag Day, July 4th. So this is the season to celebrate
Yeah.
those that protect us and keep us free each day. And there's a lot of crazy things happening in the world right now, and
Mhm.
people feeling very insecure about the future and things like that. In your position, and also being active duty military and working with our servicemen and servicewomen, thank you for that work that you do each day in helping them and being ready and willing to go and serve wherever needed. What advice do you have for people right now that are just feeling, just they just don't know um, what to think about things, and sometimes this affects people's mental health and how their fear and anxiety, and it causes a lot of stress. Um,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, yeah, that's really tough because some people have reasons for why they're feeling a specific way. It could be that they're affected because they may have family members who are serving and maybe in a danger zone. That could be the situation, and they could be affected by that. They could be service members themselves who are in the danger zone. And so my heart and prayers go out to all of them as far as, how they should be, how they should feel. It's tough because I don't want to make it seem like everything's just going to be all right because anything can happen. But
mhm.
just the things that I do to kind of help me, it's like, okay, I have to settle in and focus on the things that I can control and I actually have some direct effect on. And so if something's going on, like, down the street or whatever the case may be, it may not affect me. So I don't want to cause any more anxiety and stress on myself. So I have to make sure I stay within my own lane to kind of keep myself as peaceful and as serene and as content as I can be for what I have going on. Because in those high stress moments and high stress uh, areas that they might be in, you have to find your peace somewhere. You have to make sure you stay in your lane because if the anxiety gets high, you never know how it can affect you. You never know how it can affect those around you. So just try to do your best to stay calm and peaceful within yourself. If you have to, meditate, pray, whatever the case may be, do that and find some solace in something that you're doing. An outlet that you might have, whether it's a creative outlet, if you dance or music or um, sculpting, if you're creating something, if you cook or something, whatever the case may be, some of those things can be creative and productive outlets for them to kind of keep them at a more peaceful state of mind. So just try your absolute best to find and create those healthy outlets for yourself.
Another thing too is don't keep the news on all day long. It's
Oh,
good for us
goodness.
to it's good for us to stay informed. We have to be informed as
Mm-hmm.
citizens and know, see the highlights, see what's going on today in the world. But then shut it know when it's time to turn it off too, because when we dwell on negativity and those things coming in, whether we're hearing it, seeing it, that really affects us too. So that's
Yeah.
one of my little tricks for myself, because I can, even if it's going on in the background, I'm still getting fed all of that, in some way, shape, or form. So it can really affect your day and your mood. So, know when to step away and turn the device off and unplug, from what's going on too.
Yeah, you have to find a way to decompress from that. Because that once you said it right, once you kind of get fed it all the time, you just, those wheels get to turning, you might worry a little bit more. If you unplug and focus on something else, all right, decompress, better for you, because that stress it can really get to you. So just, yeah, unplug from it at times as well for a good little time, so that way you can recalibrate.
That's right. Well, I'm so glad we have this time to catch up and kind of hear what you have going on. and be able to share with the fans, the audience, the folks that have been watching the show, let them know what's coming down the road for you here, and what to look out for. So grab some of that new merch, folks. It's fun. It's always fun to rock a new brand, and it gives you something to talk about. And some of this new music coming out too. So we'll make sure that everybody gets a chance to hear that as well, and be able to follow. And just for the audience, just tell them one more time, how do we find the new music and get a hold of you if we need to reach out?
Okay, so the music is on any streaming service you use. It's all out. Spotify, iTunes, Apple, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, whatever. It's on all digital streaming platforms, all that. And if to contact me, I'm on pretty much the best side like Facebook, Flava Hype, IG or Instagram, I am Flava Hype. Snapchat, Flava Hype 21, TikTok, Flava Hype. Yeah, so it's all that. My YouTube is Flava Hype 21 as well. So yeah, you can find me on any of those. Reach out, hit me up, just send me a direct message. I mean, I'm not saying I'll answer all of them, but I try to get to and at least acknowledge each one and say hi to them and see what's going on. If y'all want to collab with me on something, hit me up. Hey, I'm game.
Awesome. Well, it's been great chatting, and we'll see you again soon with more updates, because I know there's gonna be more stuff happening. So, but thank you for sharing some of those tidbits and sharing some good advice too with us as well. So we'll see you soon, Flava Hype.
All right, thank you. Y'all take care. Have a great day.
All right.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our every day.
Okay, look. I already know. You never met nobody like me. Never have you ever. But you gon' find out. First off, I'm not your average Negro. I heard the beat, a pencil grabbed me and said, here we go. I was with it as soon as I heard the strings in it. Johnny Storm lit it up, but waited until the thing hit it. Sue Storm made the beat, got a fantastic engineer. Had to take a bow, cause I wanted the crowd to gather in. You ain't really ready for the way we about to flex. We giving it to you now, so ain't a needing call the next. I became a gator so that I could lock jaws on the track. Once it's ripped off, ain't no way it's gon' reattach. Never getting full, so I'm staying on the attack. I chewed it up and spit it out. Now do you really want it back? You're the damage that I consider collateral.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Believe the Hype. And remember, don't believe the hype unless it's Flava Hype.